Hello, and welcome to episode 9 of Moms with Yarn. I'm Sharon V on Ravelry, also Bronx Knitter on Instagram.
And I'm Tracy TB McCarthy on Ravelry and TB McCarthy 5 on Instagram. Hi, everyone. Welcome
Hi,
back. And welcome to new viewers.
howdy doody. We're here
Again,
again. We're
take
still
two.
here. Yes, we're almost in the double digits too.
Yes, Sharon did not fall off her chair this time, but she just cut herself off again.
Yeah, and my computer's blinking right now, telling me that I need to do an update.
She's like, no.
No, not right now. Maybe later. I had enough technical issues for one day. But we have a prize drawing for the Tour de Fleece, which ended last week, or was it the week before last week? I think
It
it was.
ended. Let's just say
It's
it ended.
over. And I
We're
did
positive.
I did put a post in the forum that says that it's over and that the winner will be announced on the next podcast. And here's the next podcast. And I put the names. Every time somebody left a post, picture or no, in the forum for Tour de Fleece, I entered their name. So if you have 5 posts in the room, your name is entered 5 times.
I hope
So
it's me. I hope it's me.
I'm shaking,
I
I'm
really want that
shaking.
fiber.
And
And
the
the winner
winner
is
is Simona Maloney.
Simona Maloney. Nice.
You just won a
Woo.
bumper fiber
It couldn't have gone far.
from Sunset Fibers. It's 100% BFL. Comes from my stash.
It's very fluffy.
Still nicely packaged and
Yes.
fluffy. And all you have to do is send me your snail mail address, and this fiber goes right out to you.
It's funny because the last episode you were showing that, and if I were to package fiber, like had I not ever podcasted with you, I probably would have smushed it. I know, but I learned something new last episode. I would have
You
smushed it.
want it to have
I know.
some boing, boing,
No,
boing,
see,
boing.
I wouldn't have done that. But
Yeah.
now I know better.
Now you know better.
When you know better, you do better.
Exactly.
Maya Angelou.
So that is the prize drawing for this time.
But don't worry, everybody else who didn't win, because you still have a chance to win if you've knit some socks for our knit along. As you know, our knit along is running from July 10th through August 12th. So next week we'll be doing a quick little episode where we're going to pick somebody who posted a finished object in our finished object thread. So get your finished objects finished and posted in the thread by the deadline, which is August 12th. We'll pick a winner. And hopefully one of you, well, we know one of you will win, but one of you will win the awesome prize, which is generously donated by Joe D of Fish Knits Yarn. The Fuji Fight Like a Girl colorway, beautiful yarn. It's actually on its way to me. So good luck. Keep knitting. You have plenty of time.
Plenty of time.
And
Plenty of
then,
time to make more than one pair of socks, too.
yes,
As
definitely.
has been done in the forum.
Yes, yes. Last week we were getting worried because it was just Sue Bar 60, but now it's hot and heavy.
Sue's got competition
She
now.
totally does. She totally.
Yes.
And I know, Sharon, you're also supporting the Knit One Heart Two girls who are doing a charity knit along with the Webs team. So I guess you want to just roll into the finished objects because I think you finished one, didn't you, for them?
I absolutely did finish
Okay,
one.
so why don't you start off this week?
Okay, well, I watched the podcast and I was so moved by the fact that, Lise at Webb's is doing this charity knit along. She's looking for knitters because some of her knitters had to drop out. So when Wendy and Sheila mentioned that they were looking for shawls, you do not have to knit a new shawl. If you have a gently used shawl, you can post your shawl in the Knit One Heart Two podcast forum, and you enter yourself for the prize, and then you mail that shawl directly to Lise at Webb's, and the details where to send the shawl are in that thread post at the
Yep.
Knit One Heart Two podcast. So I was so impressed, and I have so much yarn that I made one thing and I was never going to use the rest of it, or I find surprise stash, which means I open a bag and I find I have more skeins of the stuff that I absolutely did not adore.
Yeah.
So that's what I used. I used Valley Yarns Goshen. that I had used on the lavender sweater, and I found 4 more skeins, and I still have a skein and a half left.
Oh, wow.
And I made a second oaklet shawl.
Oh, that's so pretty.
The ends are not woven in yet. That's the only thing that's waiting. But this is, mostly garter stitch.
Yep.
And it always just comes out so nice, and it's big, and it's a little bit on the heavy side. So you can see I still need to weave in my ends. But I was just so touched, and you'll really only need to make the one shawl, or donate the one shawl, as many as you want actually.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to give away my shawls because the ones I have I love too much.
Yeah.
So I decided to make a new one, and that's what I
That's
did.
nice.
So I'm gonna post a picture of this in their forum. I'm gonna give a shout out to them for just, it's everybody should do something for charity because it makes you
Yep.
feel better when you do.
Totally does.
So that's my one finished object. And then my second finished object, you'll remember, I happen to have some
Oh,
fishnets
yes.
yarn, so I was making the Mystic Spiral socks.
Yep.
I hope I'm not giving away anything. But anyway, that's the sock. And I made it with the Fishnets Fuji Fight Like a Girl colorway, which is the prize for
Yep.
this. And
Oh,
here's
they
my
came
sock.
out awesome.
If you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen all of this stuff.
Yep.
But these socks look more like the pattern.
Love it.
And the spiral part is on the front and the back of the sock.
Yep.
At the top and the, front and
And
the back.
is that the fish
This
lip
is the Fishnets. Oh, this is the, yes. They have instructions, those are my modifications. They have instructions for the OMG heel.
Yeah.
But every time I'm not reading the instructions right, or I was in the wrong place, but the heel would always end up on the side of my sock.
Yes. You
Like,
said that. Yep.
yeah, so that didn't happen. So to avoid all confusion, I just went with the Fish Lips Kiss heel.
Yep. Nice.
So those are my finished objects.
And who are those going to?
Me? What? I have to have an Operation Sock Drawer, even if I'm not
Don't you remember charity?
Yes, of course I do. That's why I made
Okay.
the shawl.
I'm just wondering. Is that all your
That's
finished
why-
objects?
Yep.
You don't have any like wool or fiber you've spun, or
Oh, yes.
do you want to go through that, or you want me to go through my finished
I
objects?
want you to go through your finished objects
Okay.
because my other finished objects is spinning, and I know some people are not interested, so I want to keep it short and sweet at the end.
Okay, got it. So I finished my vanilla latte socks, both of them. Love, love, love the colorway. The pattern was, fine. It was very, it kept me busy. Do I love it? Would I do it again? I may. There are other patterns out there that I want to try, so this is probably not one that I'm going to rush to do again. But I really love the colorway. I don't necessarily love the yarn. I actually destashed the rest of the cakewalk yarn that I had. It actually went very quickly because she's no longer dying. So, I'm happy it went to a good home and people who really like her yarn and is gonna, are gonna knit it up and make it into beautiful things. So, I love the colorway. I think it's beautiful. It's called Cherry Blossom. I'm not sure if this is gonna go to my mom or my sitter, but they'll get that today. So I kind of held on to this until today.
Is it first come, first serve?
I actually have another pair of socks, so I'm just going to let them duke it out, whichever one they want. So that's my first finished object. Both of those are done. And then my second finished objects are the Cotty. This is another pair of socks that I finished.
Wow.
I don't know if I think the last time I told you I didn't, the only modifications that I made was I didn't do the picot edge. It just wasn't working for me when I was on vacation. I had like beach brain or something. I don't know. But pretty much I did everything as the pattern called for except the heel. This is from Irish Girly Knits Designs. Her pattern writing is wonderful. She's very, very good at kind of explaining her patterns. And in the pattern, it explained that the heel that she chose would make a very wide heel. And I know that my mom likes the heel type that I generally put in. So I knew that she wasn't going to like a wide heel. So I just inserted the heel that I know she likes. So that's the second modification that I made. And then I just did this, as the pattern called for the toe, which was a little bit different than I normally made. But I think it came out great. These socks are made in sport weight. I, when I tell you, I literally had about 3 yards of yarn left. I literally had 3 yards of yarn left. Do you remember the last time we spoke? I thought I was going to have to ask my friend Julie, San Jewel, for my skein back. Um, I didn't have to do that. So, and I didn't
Well,
have to dig into like my worsted weight, same colorway. I didn't have to do any of that. I had literally 3 yards. So
San Jewel looks like she holds on to her yarn the same way she held on to those pants of hers.
I'm telling you,
San
she is,
Jewel, I love your style.
oh my God, she is a rip. I love San Jewel. Julie is
Oh,
she's a
I
wonderful person.
yeah, I said those are really nice pants, and just that she can still fit into them.
That's exactly what I said. The fact
I was
that they
like,
were made in
hello.
1980. Number one, they were made in 1980 by her. Number two, she still has them. And number three, they fit fabulously.
I know, and I said you could wear
One,
those
two,
pants,
three.
just don't wear them in public. And then she sends me a picture of her wearing them in public. A room full of women with those pants on.
She went to like the Stephen and Stephen. Stephen West was doing something. She went to that, and that's where she.
Is
Oh
that
my
the
God,
the
she is
two
a
the
rep.
two
She
the
is a
two
rep.
Steve
Yes,
event?
yeah,
Stephen
Stephen
B
Steve. Yeah,
and Stephen West.
yeah. Oh my God, she's a rep. She's a rep.
That was too funny. I almost fell off my chair, which I've already done once, and I'm not trying to do again. But that was really funny.
That's so fun. She's so funny. So the last finished object I have is called Cannon Beach. This is an infinity shawl, an infinity scarf that I did. This is another Irish girly knits design. It's just again an infinity cowl. Um, Wonderful, wonderful knit. It's made out of the Anzula for better or worsted. Lovely, lovely yarn. It's very similar to the Plucky Knitter Primo line, except it's a little bit more luxurious. Love the colorway. It's called Penny, and it actually, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's almost identical to a penny. Like it's so nice. It blocked out really nice. It's just really like I just loved everything about it. It wasn't boring. Um, it had, just a couple of repeats in it. It was very easily memorized. It was just a really, really nice knit, something that was, different than socks. So
Is it worsted weight?
it's worsted. Yep. Yeah, it's
What
worsted.
size needles did you
I
use?
used, it called for eights, but I used nines. I swatched.
Go girl. Swatching is important. I have
Swatching
four,
is my friend.
I have four new students in my knitting class, and I was telling them about swatching and why it's important, especially if you want a garment that fit.
Yeah,
And just like with the older students that have been there a while, whenever you talk about gauge, they glaze
I
over.
know. It's like I know it's important. I just hate it, but whatever. So it's
Whatever.
fine. I used the size nines, and it worked out great. So those are my three finished objects. I
Woohoo!
still don't have enough for Stash Dash is over tomorrow. I wished it ran till the end of the summer. I mean, I feel like
For her, it is the end of the summer, and that's
yeah,
why
but
Stash Dash is over.
yeah, but
Knit faster, girl. You have to make big things and then bind off the last 6 inches.
yeah, you know what it is? I think that I mean, there's no excuse. Like I definitely knit a lot of things. I think, I had a lot of migraines this summer. So I think that that definitely, you know, just played a big part in, the type of projects that I finished. I think the fact that I finished those two sweaters was a big accomplishment. I mean, I think if, regardless of the number that I finished, the amount of yardage that I finished, if I only finished those two sweaters, I feel like that was a huge accomplishment for me. So I'm really happy that
And it's hard to function when you have a headache to
yeah,
even want to knit. I
yeah,
know. Um, you know, nobody wants to say it, but when you start perimenopause, everything is,
I know, it's awful. It's
your
awful.
whole life goes tipping to one
I
side, and then the next day it's tipping to the other.
I
And
know.
people don't know if they like you or they don't like you,
Right.
and you don't like them anyway. So it's hard. It's really hard. So,
Yeah.
not saying that you're going through perimenopause.
No, but I'm definitely going through something because my head is just
The headaches
good.
is one of the symptoms, but don't worry, even if that is the case, when you're cute, it doesn't matter because people will forgive you for everything.
So those are my FOs.
Well, what kind of whips do you have?
I just have one. I'll probably be casting on a pair of socks now that I have two off the needles. But I don't know if you remember, I have my Nangu. I finished about two of these sections. So I think I was up to here the last time. Like right here.
You need to put a stitch
I don't
marker
need to
like,
do anything because
yes,
this
come
is
on,
my
so we
project.
can see.
No.
Okay.
I finished a whole one of these, I was up to the pink. So I finished a pink, a whole one of these, another pink, and a whole one of these. So I have just one more pink and another gray, and then I'll bind off. So I should probably be done, um, in the next day or so. This, even though the rows are getting long, it's garter stitch. And then pattern is memorized. That it's going very quick. So, and it's a wonderful pattern. It's a really nice pattern. I'm already thinking about how I would modify it next time to maybe not use two skeins of yarn, two skeins of the main color. I think I might do three colors next time. So, I'm already thinking about that because I really like the pattern. So, yeah,
I thought that's how it feels when you find a pattern that you like.
yeah,
It's so easy to get sucked into branching out.
yes,
So when you make it again, even though it doesn't look the same, like this shawl that I made is, here we go. It's the Oaklet by Megan Goodacre.
yes,
You know, when I made it, the first time I used the hand spun and it striped
yes,
unintentionally, but it
yes,
striped. And when I was looking for a shawl, I wanted to make something that was easy. Even though I love the Multnomah,
yes,
I've made it twice and I was like,
yeah,
and I don't own one. I gave
yeah,
them both away.
yeah,
It's so easy to want to branch out,
yep, I
especially
agree.
when you do the same thing. And it's easier because you already know what you have to do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So,
yep.
anyhow, my works in progress, I only have one. And this is what happened. I am making the
Oh, yes,
cool
yes.
clavicle cowl, which I'm also going to donate to the Knit One Heart Two
Okay,
podcast.
nice.
This is my second shawl for them. So I started to make it with some gradient yarn. It's the Wandering Wool.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm down to this much. And I'm not finished. And I can't find a complementary color. I will find something, but I can't find a complementary color. But this is how it started to go.
Oh, that's so nice.
So close to the end. I'm halfway through the last section before the border. And so I have two choices. I can either rip this back and make it with smaller needles.
No.
I can use any old
Well,
color to
you know what
finish.
I was thinking? You could probably rip it back to the blue. Could you rip it back to the dark,
The problem is that I don't like all of this dark at the bottom.
that's the bottom?
I mean at the top,
Oh, okay.
because it goes this way.
Yes. But I'm saying like you might have a better chance of like trying to get a gray. matching
No,
a gray.
no, just like no blues match, no
No, I'm
grays
saying like
match.
get a different gray, like rip out the gray, like cut your losses with the gray, rip it back to the blue, and then just pick a different gray and start with the gray then. Do you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
Just rip back to the blue and say, okay, I'm not going to use the gradient gray. You know what I mean?
Yes, because I
So then
do
this
have
way you'll,
some solid gray.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then maybe do the border in like a white, like not a white, but like a complementary to the gray then. Because you're saying the gray is the last piece of the shawl before the border.
Yes, because there's 5 sections to the
Yeah.
pattern,
Yep.
and this is the pattern by Megan Williams.
Yes.
Pardon me,
I
because
actually,
there's a
that's
plane
okay.
going over.
Yeah, I actually won that on Instagram.
The
Yeah, the
Wandering
pattern.
Wool. Oh,
No,
the
the pattern.
pattern.
Yeah.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you. Oh, and congratulations to you. Did you ever get that yarn that you won on Facebook?
Yes.
Did.
Okay, so Tracy goes on Facebook. I never go on Facebook. All of my Facebook feeds come from Instagram, so I never go there. But before I go into that,
Okay, sorry. Yes.
let
So
me
let's
just
finish
say,
this. Sorry.
yeah, I
So what are you going to
decided.
do? So next week we're going to figure out.
So remember I had this alpaca socks and
Yeah.
I printed out a pattern for a shawlette,
Yeah.
and the cat barfed on the pattern, so I threw the pattern in the garbage. I could have printed it out again, but because I feel like a massive fail with the Wandering Wool, I cast on Megan's shawl with this
That's really nice.
instead.
Yeah.
And it's more tonal. I think
Yes.
this is
Yes.
more like the color.
Yes.
Um, and I have 463 yards, and she's saying you need 400. So
Okay. That'll
this
be
will definitely cover it.
okay.
So I guess that would be my second work in progress, even though it's the same pattern over and
Yeah.
over again.
Okay.
And that's it for my whips.
I wouldn't rip back that other shawl.
No.
My own personal opinion. I would just rip back to maybe the blue and then pick a different gray. That was what I would do. But I'm interested to see what you do next week.
Okay. So Tracy goes on Facebook and she's likes this page. It's
My mountain,
it's called My Mountain,
I think.
and they had a contest, and I won.
And P.S. It was tag your best friend.
And I tagged somebody else.
But I tag my best friend, and my best friend is
I
Sharon,
never win these things, so I
right?
figured
So
if you.
I tag my best friend Sharon, and I say, Sharon, I like this yarn. What about you? So Sharon goes and tags her best friend, and she doesn't pick me. I'm not her best friend.
But I love you more than I love Brazen. So, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, but I'm gonna make it up to you.
And she wins that yarn. Look what her best friend wins. That yarn.
I won the same color that Tracy liked. This is
I'm not
Regia
talking to you anymore. That's it. I'm not talking to you anymore.
6 Fadig. I don't even
You
know what
didn't win
that
just one
means.
skein? You didn't win just one skein? What did you win?
Well, I won the skein.
Oh, just one.
And Brazen Raven won the skein
Oh,
that
she
she
went.
likes.
Okay.
And she never gave me, I don't see any colorways on this. And because I thanked Tracy so much, they felt like they should send her skein.
I'm friends with you again. We're best friends.
You were so mean to me.
I was.
I might have to keep this at my house now.
I'll have to
Um,
come and see you.
it doesn't have, it says,
Didn't you say it knits up like steel wool?
girl, I don't know if that was the 4-ply or if it was this, which I
Okay.
think is a 6. I don't know what it is.
Well,
And it feels pretty nice, so
okay.
it's all right. So, yeah, we won. I told you we won.
I'm so
And I
happy.
told you I had a
Is that the
surprise for
surprise?
you. Yes.
That was a really good surprise. I'm surprised.
I know.
I'm
Because
surprised.
I was prepared to buy this game if I had to. Because I
Oh,
was like, Tracy's going to shoot me.
that
Because
is
it
so
didn't
funny.
dawn on me because, I'm not that quick. I never win anything. I figured if Tracy won, then it would be cool.
That was so funny. So she sent me an email. She's like, we won, and I'm like,
I didn't
babe,
win.
we did not
You
win.
did not pick
You
me.
won because you didn't pick me. That's why you won.
Yay! And I
Not that
never,
lucky.
I can't say I never win anything because I do rarely, on a rare occasion, I do win something. And when the package came with the note, she was so nice. She said,
Aw.
I included a skein for your friend Tracy. I said, good, because I think Tracy's going to come to my house and stab me with a knife anyway.
That's so funny. I probably wouldn't do that. I would
So, yeah,
maybe a butter knife, but
yeah.
not a real knife.
Well, a spoon.
Yeah, a spoon maybe.
Would take longer.
Gouge your, yeah.
Okay, so I have one last thing.
More surprises for me? Are those socks
No.
really for me? Is that really a surprise?
Last time we recorded, I cut out all of my spinning stuff for the Tour de
By
Fleece.
accident.
By accident, I pushed the button. And by now, if you don't know that I'm no techno genius, now you know. So I
She's
had,
math challenged and techno.
exactly. So I had spun up some yarn for the Tour de Fleece. I had a pound of white
Oh, none of this was in the
merino.
episode?
None of it. And this white merino comes from, watch me push the button again.
Don't
This
push the button.
this white merino comes from an unknown source. It was a woman that I had met on Facebook back in the day when I used to go on. And she had a pound and the price was really reasonable. So I decided that I was gonna.
I think I remember saying that. That looks so commercial. Like it looks so, like something that like an indie dyer would purchase and then dye up. So pretty.
Yeah, so one, two, three, four, 4.5 skeins because all of them are normal sized except this one. But this was leftover. It's 3-ply, spun up on my Lendrum, or my Prelude. And I'm really happy with how it turned out because I was so sick of spinning white fiber.
Yeah.
I was ready to really shoot myself.
And now you're going to make that blanket where it's basically like, I think it's garter on the inside, and then the outside is where the detail is,
And
right? It's like
that's
a,
the feather and fan
yes,
border.
from Jared Flood, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So it came out, it was so even and it hung so nice.
My gosh, it's so pretty. It's so bouncy looking.
And all boing, boing, boing,
Yep.
boing. And all I could think about was, man, if I threw this in the dye pot, I wonder what would happen.
Don't do it.
So, but I'm not going to. But the big deal is that you want to spin as even as you can, but when you do a 3-ply, the wool forgives you.
Yeah.
So it comes out more round and more, I don't know, more even. I like it. So now
Oh my gosh, it's so pretty.
I can start my blanket. But I also, for the border, spun up some Dripping Fiber Studio 100% Rambouillet in the
Hmm.
Coastal Breeze colorway. And one skein got wound on.
That's
That
pretty.
would be this one. Still needs to be washed. And this is the last of it. And it's not going to be enough for the border for the blanket, so I'll probably have to spin something else to go with it. I love these colors.
Yeah, they're so
And
pretty.
it's a blanket for a boy, so
Yeah.
that's what that's about. I'm so glad I got my spinning in. I'm
Oh my
glad I didn't
gosh,
cut myself
so
up.
nice. That's so pretty.
And this one is not doesn't have the same amount of squish, but I'm hoping that after it gets washed, that it will plump up.
Yeah.
And so that is everything.
Yay. That's really nice.
Yeah,
I'm
so
so proud of you that you got all that done.
I, I don't spin all year, and then somebody says the Tour de Fleece is coming up, and you need to practice your spinning. You need to get, at behind the wheel so you don't give yourself all kinds of aches and pains trying to spin all that fiber during the Tour de Fleece. And I never have a problem getting back into it, and then when the tour ends, I find myself looking for other fibers to spin because I'm
Yeah.
not done. I'm just too happy to be sitting at the wheel. Of
Yep.
course, you lose your mojo after a while.
Yeah.
But I have some stuff that I want to do on a spindle, so
Yeah.
we're going to see how that goes. So now that everything is done, I can start that baby blanket, which is the hat blanket by Baby Tweed. All I have to do is find the booklet with the pattern in it,
Yep.
and then off we go. So,
Yeah, I think next up I'm probably going to do another pair of socks. Um, I might cast on two pair because I think having those two pairs going at the same time really worked for me. Two different types. I'll probably do a Socks That Rocks. Diane from Knittables is doing a knit along using anything that socks that with the Socks That Rocks line, I guess. And so I'm going to do that, I think. And then I want to try and do a striped pair, and I'm going to try and do the, I don't know, does the Fish Lips
kiss,
Kiss
heel.
heel work nice with the stripe yarn?
That's what I used for
Okay,
these.
yeah.
So, I
Yeah, so I
mean,
think I might do that.
you get. I just happen to be lucky where the whole point of the heel came out the same color. These are on
Yeah,
size ones.
yeah.
Um, but
Yeah, so I think I'm going to do that.
generally when I use the
And does
fish
it
lips,
have to be toe up or no?
it can be either or. She has
Okay,
instructions
so
for both.
okay, I'm going to, because I have the pattern for it.
What
I have
pattern
the
is it?
pattern. The Fish Lips Kiss
Oh,
heel.
I is it going to be plain vanilla socks with that pattern?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
think so.
The only
Yeah.
thing is that I've heard people talk about making their heel with the opposite end of their skein so that
No.
their pattern doesn't get disrupted.
Oh,
So
I don't.
my pattern, because my yarn is striping, right where the heel becomes the leg again, you
Yeah.
see how it's two colors?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter because it's low contrast.
Yes.
So it doesn't make any difference. But you see that one?
Mhm.
Now you see this one?
Mhm.
Can you see the difference?
Not really.
It's slight, but it's there.
Yeah.
So if you have a sock with high contrast colors, if you have a sock yarn with 5 or 6 stripes in it, it
Yeah.
won't make any difference. But if you have
Right.
high contrast next to low contrast, it does make
Yeah.
a difference.
Okay.
So when you pick,
Mom won't care.
I know she won't care, but you might.
I probably won't. I mean, I'll see. I mean, that's the thing. It'll be a learning experience for me, and I think that, a lot of the stuff that I do with my socks, like I have to do it. People keep saying, "Oh, you're gonna have to do that." Like I have to do it to understand it, and then say, "Oh, I get it now." Okay, yeah. Let me do. Okay, let me do this, and then I know better now for next time.
Right. The Fish Lips Kiss pattern, um, the Fish Lips Kiss heel pattern is $1 on Ravelry.
Yeah, I bought it
And it's
already.
really worth it
Yeah,
because you don't have to do a heel flap and guess how deep your heel is.
yeah,
You don't have to count. You don't
right,
have to do the heel flap and then the heel
right.
turn.
Picking it up.
You
Yeah,
you do there's the bottom half of the Fish Lips Kiss and then the boomerang. So there
yep,
are still the bottom and then the top of the
yep,
sock pattern to do, but it's so no math. If you
yeah,
can see, you can do it. So
yeah.
that's the
So I
goodness
think I'm
about it.
gonna try that, and then I'm gonna maybe do another, just maybe a Skype sock, or I don't know. I was thinking about trying the the sock that Diane's doing now, which is is it the Skype sock? Not the Skype. The one where it's like one side is one sock and the other side
Stitch
is
Surfer.
Stitch
You're
Surfer.
gonna hurt your feelings if you try that sock.
I know it's gonna be tough. I don't know. I'm not
It's
sure.
not a sock you can really put down without knowing where you are.
No, I know. I know.
So, what?
It has to be my home knitting.
Right.
That's the thing. And I have
So,
to have it like printed out, and so
and mark it up. So, what
yeah.
number are you up to? Because you're doing 14 socks for 2014.
I don't think I'm gonna get to 14, so I'm not
Don't shoot
really.
yourself down. You never know. You just finished 2 pairs of socks.
Yeah, that's probably like I don't even know. I like that's how bad I am. I don't even know. Maybe that's like 5 and 6, or maybe 6 and it's probably number 5 and 6.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
Whatever. You'll get there.
I know I'll get there, and if
My
I don't,
my thing with socks is that, I go on a binge where it's all about socks all the time,
I
and
know.
I see 1,000 pairs of socks I want to make, and then I realize that my all of my project page is filled up with all these sock patterns, and
Yeah.
I have no plain vanillas, very few plain vanillas,
Yes.
and when you even have a little bit of a pattern, it breaks it up for you, which is a good
Yep.
thing. But sometimes you need to go all vanilla all the time. So,
Yeah, but it's funny because now is the time that we're doing, like now they're gearing up for Plucktember, which is the Plucky Knitters. They do a Plucktember, it's September. So designers design patterns for September that you can knit along during September using Plucky yarn. So Irish Girly Knits, Carrie Sullivan, is doing a sock pattern, and I'll probably be knitting up her sock pattern. I was able to see it in person when I met up with her last week in New York City. It is gorgeous. The colors that she picked for it is just beautiful. I mean, the top part, when she was showing it to me, she's like, you know, look at this sock. And I was like, that is a sock that I could see myself wearing. And I've never, ever felt like that about a sock. You know, not just because of the pattern, but because of the colors that she picked and the pattern. And then she started talking about like just other ideas for the, like with the pattern. And I was like, I totally see where you're going with this. And I love it. I love it. So she totally has me inspired. And, you know, and it's fun because like now's the time of year that we start thinking about fall. And I started going through Ravel yesterday, and there was actually a trio of patterns. I think it was like the beeswax or something that was done in like a yellowish. There was a trio of patterns. It was a hat, a fingerless mitts, and a cowl that was like a honeycomb pattern. And I just queued it up. I was like, this is the cutest pattern. And if I had something in like yellow yarn, and I'm sure I do in Plucky, like this is something that I could totally see myself knitting either for my son or myself or, you know, maybe the girls. I'm not sure, but I'm starting to think about what I want to do in the fall. And I'm like thinking hats, cowls, knits. I'm like less inclined to do like the small little sock things now. Now I'm thinking like fall, which is nice.
so you're branching out, girl.
Branching
That's
out,
what it's all
which I
about.
used to do. Like you know, I mean, in the winter, I'm cowls, I'm hats. I mean, you'll see. You know, we started in the spring, so you know, you guys haven't really seen my winter stuff, but I'm all about the hats. I'm all about the cowls. I'm all about the mitts and things like that.
Well,
So
and especially when you have small children, you know, you can never
yes,
have enough of that
yes,
stuff anyway. So
exactly, exactly.
that's
So
really helpful. So,
yeah,
yep.
that's
So,
all I got.
yeah, I'm glad that that my one charity shawl is done and that I can go ahead and send that off. So anything else after this is extra. But I figured I would do the two because there's two of us and I'm doing it through the podcast. So
Thank you.
yes, you don't have to make one if you don't want to.
Thank you.
And really go check out Knit One Heart Two.
Yeah, those
Sheila
girls are
and Wendy
amazing.
are amazing. They do
They are.
amazing work and
They're
they're
always giving back.
and,
They're always giving back.
and their podcast is very entertaining and educational.
Both. They're great girls, so
Yes.
we're happy to support them.
And make sure that you get in those socks. Get in your own socks, because you know the fish knits yarn is lovely, soft,
Yeah.
and beautiful. And this is what it looks like knit up.
Yep.
You can't go wrong with these colors.
Yep.
And yeah, and thanks everybody for tuning in, and we will
Thanks,
see you
guys.
next time.
Yep. Enjoy.
Enjoy.
Bye.
Bye.